Hello Hunters, Autobot Dawson Gaming here with a new build guide video for dual blades now that Title Update 5 is upon us and I've had a little bit of time to look around and see what's going on. Now I want to say in advance, this build is going to give you access to infinite stamina, infinite sharpness, and a huge amount of damage as long as you are skilled and confident in your ability to dodge. So this guide is going to be great for people who love to use the Shrouded Vault counter effectively and people who love the speed of demon mode. Now, what a lot of people online aren't taking into account when they talk about how there's a huge skill gap with this particular skill, Heaven Sent is the skill that's the main skill of the build here from Amatsu, is that while it does require you not to get hit to keep it up all the time, with dual blade specifically, dodging in demon mode, which is so fast, used to take a lot of stamina. Well, with Heaven Sent active, it's infinite stamina. So you have a huge amount, of opportunities to dodge. Take a look at this quick clip before we get into the build. This is just going to show it to you in action, okay? So watch closely. Stamina's draining. We're in combat. Heaven Sent has now activated. It activates just from being in combat. And now watch. And ignore the damage numbers. This is, against a Valstrax, not a great elemental matchup. And this was before I finished everything. But as you can see, I'm able to just dodge and counter everything because my stamina and sharpness are both not depleting at all. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into it. I want to point out that the only mandatory armor pieces here are going to be the Amatsu chest, the Amatsu gauntlets, and the Amatsu legs. The reason those are the only mandatory pieces is because they're the only way to currently achieve the 3 levels of Heaven Sent that you need for this build. I'll tell you that I'm currently using the Risen Chameleos waist and Silver Rathlos helmet, but they've all been augmented, and the thing that's worth mentioning is with the new talismans that you can get through the new melding pots, you can get some insane stuff. This one isn't even like super meta, but it's great for what I needed. The moral of why I'm saying this is I'm not going to be going over like every single augment and decoration that I'm using because the general rule of thumb is there's a lot of different ways to get everything you need now through augmentation, through talismans, different armor pieces. I mean, you can even augment additional slots on your armor, right? So what I will say is that you do have to have currently the Tempest chest piece, Tempest gauntlets, Tempest legs, all that are taken from Amatsu because that's how you get your 3 levels of Heaven Sent. And as for weapon, we're using water for the example, but use any dual blades that you want as long as they have a solid element. And of course, you're going to want to make a build for all 5 elements eventually. Now, first of all, on your blue and red scrolls, you're going to want to set them up the exact same way because we are no longer having to worry about sharpness. If you'll remember on the channel, I used to not like Dragon Conversion because I like to use Ironshine Silk. And I didn't like how Dragon Conversion required you to basically stay in red almost the whole hunt. However, you no longer need to sharpen literally at all with this build. So set them both up the same way and use Dragon Conversion. So here's what we have. Again, you don't have to have all of this. You do have to have Heaven Sent level 3 for this build to work. Because what Heaven Sent level 3 lets you do is, as you've seen in the earlier clip, when you're in combat, for a little bit of time, not very much at all, you're going to get infinite stamina and infinite sharpness. It's a fantastic skill. Fantastic skill. It has some other effects too, but that is the bread and butter of why it's good with dual blades. Okay. We're also running level 7 of Critical Eye to keep our affinity up, level 5 of water attack / depending on which element you're using for the monster matchup, fire, thunder, ice, or dragon. Level 3 critical boost. Level 3 weakness exploit, again, all great skills for those crits and damage. Level 3 critical element. And then level 3 of burst as well. And then we get into this combination of Furious and Dragon Conversion. Now, with level 3 of Furious, you're getting extra elemental resistances, which is great because using Dragon Conversion, You're going to start out the fight in the blue scroll until you activate Dragon Conversion, which is going to be like a little shield symbol above your health bar. And then you're going to switch to the red scroll for the rest of the fight, giving you all that elemental resistance converted into element attack. You're going to get some ludicrous element attack damage numbers using this in tandem with the skills like crit eye, water attack, crit boost, weakness exploit, crit element, burst, and things of that nature. Do keep in mind that once you activate it on that red scroll, it's going to be permanent unless you switch back to blue. If you do switch back to blue for any reason, that's fine. Just remember to reactivate Dragon Conversion. And of course, Dragon Conversion is the Risen Valstrax skill. You can now augment it on armor or get it on talismans, so you can get those 3 levels however you see fit. It might be easier to augment it for most people. That's what I did. But you can certainly get it on a talisman too. I've seen it myself. We're also running 2 levels of windproof, which was kind of just added on here. This was just happened to be on some of the armor I was using. Don't really need that. 2 levels of Wirebug Whisperer. This is actually going to eventually become level 3. I'm currently having to get a ton of materials to try to get some more decorations for my attack boost 7 and everything. Because, yeah, keep in mind, I'm actually going to have attack boost 7 probably on top of all this once I get those decorations built, which is then going to free up a spot for me to throw in level 3 of Wirebug Whisperer. And likely I'll go up to level 3 of Element Exploit. You really only need level 1 of it, because that gives you the biggest boost. That's like a 10% boost, and then I think the next 2 are much smaller. But I'm currently using 2 levels. Now, this is an interesting one. Intrepid Heart, level 2. It's only a 1-slot decoration, or there's even a new one that's 3-slot for both levels. However you want to get that is fine. But this actually goes fantastic with Heaven Sent, because the way that Heaven Sent gets deactivated is when you get hit and it knocks you back, right? Well, with Intrepid Heart, once you fill that little gauge, you're basically getting a free hit you can take. Combining that with Heaven Sent, you're going to protect yourself all the more. Strife is just, and Muck Resistance and Leap of Faith, and are all just extra skills that happen to be on the set. Don't matter. And then Shock Absorber I put on here, just because I had an extra 1 slot. So the bread and butter, eventually attack boost, but more importantly, crit eye, water attack, critical boost, weakness exploit, critical element, furious, burst, dragon conversion, Heaven Sent is the main skill, and then also Wirebug Whisperer, element exploit, and Intrepid Heart are all important to this build. So hunters, that is how it works. I'm going to go to the training area real quick just to kind of show you the gameplay loop here that you're going for. And just remember, of course, to change the element based on the monster you are fighting once you make enough builds. So again, we're going to start in Blue Scroll. This is going to allow you to basically stay in demon mode the whole fight. Okay, so you're going to do some damage in Blue Scroll. Once we get that attack boost deco, this is going to be even higher. Okay, keep on attacking. Now you can see the little blue shield pop up at the top, and Heaven Sent is activated. We're going to convert to red. Now you can see our element has went up. And now we have additional element attack, and we've also got our infinite sharpness and infinite stamina going on with Heaven Sent. You can literally dash all around the place. Look at this, you guys. It's absolutely obscene. So do keep that in mind. And you guys, that's pretty much it for this build. Heaven Sent is a great skill on the right hands. Just be confident and practice dodging and countering, and you'll be good to go. This is Autobot Dawson Gaming, rolling out.